just give you a few simple facts about Scentsy fragrance. These are some things that I've learned over the years, and it's nothing that's official that has come out by Scentsy, but these are just some things that I've learned, and they're all my opinion. I just would like to start off by explaining to you that the company was originally started by Kara and Colette, two stay-at-home moms who were watching the Oprah Winfrey show, Moms Who Stay Home and Make Millions. And they were actually watching the Baby Einstein creators. And they thought, wow, if they can do it, we could do something. And they actually went out and bought a very popular candle, put it in a paper bag, busted the glass off, cut the wax into little pieces, and tried warming it over different light bulb wattages, and came up with the best working wattage. And here we are today. So Orville and Heidi Thompson purchased the company, and they've just turned it into the most amazing, amazing company ever. We're all so lucky and blessed to be part of such an amazing thing. So, some few random tips. Originally, Scentsy wax, and I'm actually in a hotel room right now, or I would show you one of the original Scentsy waxes, but they were just some cubes, and they were probably about that size, and they were squares, and you had to actually cut them yourself with a butter knife. And then they started to pour them into clamshells, and the original clamshells only had 6 little cubes, and you might have seen them before. There's actually, some of the competitors make the square with the 6 cubes, and somebody actually broke into an office at one point and stole the idea, basically, long story short. And so we actually made a new clamshell. We now give 8 little cubes instead of only 6, and we never increase the price. So that was a really cool tip. It is now the shape, it's a curved shape, the shape of a warmer, and you get 8 cubes instead of 2, and it's still just the $5 per bar. Each cube, and I learned this at my very first spring sprint in New York, each little cube makes about 150 square feet smell good. So if you want, I usually tell people 2 to 3 cubes will make about 400 to 500 square feet smell good. So if you put 2 cubes in, you're going to make about 300 square feet smell good. If you put 3 cubes in, it's 150 times 3. So that's about 450 square feet. So the more wax you put, the more scent you're going to get. Our large warmers will hold an entire bar of 8 little cubes, but just remember it won't last as long, but you'll get a lot more strength of smell. It'll be a really, really strong smell. One thing that I know that a lot of people, it's a mistake that a lot of people make, is never add new wax to old wax because it will dilute your wax. When it doesn't smell good, get rid of the wax and then start off with very fresh wax, and it will last much longer and smell much better. So never add old wax to new wax. Our wax is a food grade wax. It's actually the same wax that's around an apple. And I get asked all the time, well, why wouldn't I use soy? Because everybody thinks that soy is better. Well, the truth is the petroleum people want you to think the petroleum wax is better. The soy people want you to think that the soy wax is better. But to me, the bottom line is we're not breathing in any wax. We don't release any wax into the air. With candles, you breathe it in. So I guess if you'd rather breathe in soy, I guess that maybe that's better than breathing in petroleum. I have no idea, but we don't breathe any wax in, so it doesn't even matter. You know, when you burn a candle, all of that disappearing wax, it's not disappearing, it's liquefying and sticking to your walls, and you're breathing it in. So it is in your lungs, and it is stuck to your walls along with the soot. And you know, it used to be that a lot of the wicks had lead in them, so that's another thing to keep in mind. A lot of people will spend more money and buy a more expensive candle so that they aren't breathing in lead. So that's great that a lot of these more expensive companies have made lead-free wicks. But one mistake that I see that a lot of people make is that they tend to buy the really inexpensive little tea lights. And I have seen that a lot of those cheap tea lights do have a lead wick. So please be very careful. If you ever do use tea lights, make sure that you're buying the more expensive ones, the higher quality that definitely do not have a lead wick. So another thing is that our clamshells, and that's what we refer to the little plastic cases that hold the wax, those are recyclable, so you can absolutely recycle them. I like to tell people to use them for other things. You know, they work great for arts and crafts. You can actually squirt a little bit of paint into each of the, different colors into each of the 8 little squares and hand it to your kid and have them do a painting. Or use them maybe for a little earring holders. Put a different pair of earrings in each of the 8 pairs. There's so many creative things that you can do with those. I'm losing my voice, sorry. I've always told people that The another thing that you can do with the wax is use it for fire starters. Now, a funny thing is, my team in Australia, I was talking to them about making fire starters, and they were all kind of looking at me like, what is she talking about? And they don't tend to make fires outside, bonfires and roasting marshmallows and whatnot. But here in the US, we make a lot of bonfires, so you can do all kinds of things to make fire starters. One thing that I do is with my little bathroom plugins in my bathroom, I keep a big gallon-sized Ziploc bag in the cabinet, and anytime I'm ready to change my wax, I leave my wax hot. I get a bunch of toilet paper, I dip it in, I absorb all of the wax, let it dry for a second, put it in that Ziploc bag, and I have a whole bag full of fire starters. You just take one little scrunched up amount of toilet paper, soaked wax at a time, catch it on fire, throw it in your fire, and you have a great fire starter. Another way that I make fire starters is I will take anytime I change any of my large warmers, I pour the wax hot into a Pyrex dish, and I say a Pyrex, measuring cup, and I save it until it's all the way full. When it's full, I put it in the freezer for about 15 minutes, pop it out. I've got a big cube of wax. I cut it up into little pieces, warm in the microwave. I take a non-stick muffin tin and I fill it with little pieces of stick and pine cones, and I pour that melted wax right on top, and I have those homemade little fire starters. So there's all kinds of ways that you can make fire starters. My favorite Scentsy product is a large warmer. I feel that you're going to get the most satisfaction out of one large warmer. It's going to make a large area in your house smell great. If people want to have a plug-in for their bathroom as well, that's fantastic. But it just makes your bathroom smell good, is my opinion. A lot of people will put them in their kitchen, but if you want your kitchen to smell great, one large warmer works a lot. It works a lot stronger than a little plug-in. So if you're trying to decide between a large warmer and a plug-in, always go with the large warmer. When I first started with Scentsy, we didn't even have plug-ins. It was so simple. All we had were large warmers, and that's why everybody, and it's still my favorite product, the large warmer. Let's see, ways to change wax. I already mentioned using some toilet paper or paper towels to dip into your wax when it's hot. You can just turn it off, and I like either a Pampered Chef scraper or the back of an orange peeler. You can pop it out when it's after you've turned it off and it's hardened up. You can take that top and put it right in the freezer. It'll harden up real well, and the wax will fall out quite easily. Really, that's about it. The other way is you can just pour your wax right into the trash can, wipe it out with a paper towel, or pour it into your Pyrex dish, and then wipe it out with a paper towel. Our wax is very safe. It is just over body temperature, so if you have children or pets and they touch our wax, it is not going to burn them. That is huge. That's why people are allowed to have Scentsy warmers in places like schools, daycares, nursing facilities, college dorm rooms, places where you can't have an open flame. Our warmer is perfectly safe, and nobody's going to get burned by our wax, which is just a great, great selling point. With candles, as I mentioned, you're not only going to get wax all over your walls because that disappearing wax is stuck to your walls, but you're also going to get the black soot. And I think I kind of already touched on that. So a couple other things. Scent circles. I love our scent circles. I travel with scent circles. I give scent circles out all the time. Anytime I stay in a hotel room, the first thing I do is I walk in, I open a scent circle, I hang it on the back of the door, and it makes my hotel room smell great. Make sure that you're hanging a scent circle in the front of your car, but also in the back of your car. I have an SUV, and I want the back of my car to smell great too, so I hang one in the back and one in the front. You can use them anywhere. Just make sure people do hang them, and they don't lay them on plastic. So scent circles will eat plastic, so if you were to lay it on a dash, it will ruin the dash, just like any other of the car fresheners. Any other company, the little Christmas tree shaped ones, any of them will do it. It's not just a Scentsy one. It's something about the oils will eat the wax. So make sure you're not laying them down on top of on any plastic. Let's see. I use old warmers. So if you have a warmer that you're not using anymore and you want to replace it with one of the new, say, hand-blown glass ones, or, there's so many gorgeous warmers. How can you have 50,000 warmers in your house? So there are so many great things you can do with your warmers. I like the round ones. If you just cut the cord off in the back, you can use them for pencil holders, or you could even use them for like a spoon holder in your kitchen or anything that you want. And then the square ones are perfect for tissues. Just take a tissue box and take all the tissues out, stick them inside of your warmer, and you have a much more glamorous tissue holder than you had with just the plain old tissue box. Let's see, laundry detergent, use it. It's fantastic. Why give Tide your money? Give yourself your money. Buy this laundry detergent. Smells great, works great. lasts longer. It's fantastic. Same with Layers products. Buy our lotion, use our lotion. Don't go buy it at other stores. Use ours. It's absolutely amazing. We have worked to perfect everything about them. There are so many fantastic products, so make sure that you're using them. Last but not least, I was just going to give you an idea for little testers. You know, each 6 months we change seasons and we come out with new scents. So you'll have some testers that you don't need anymore. One really cool thing that you can do with them is just go to the craft store, buy some little magnets, glue a magnet on the back of your tester, and on the front at any at Walmart or any like Staples or any office supply store, buy little circle stickers, and you can actually put your information right on those little circle stickers. A wonderful friend of mine, Joanne Chartier, actually was so sweet and sent me a whole page, a whole label of those little circles with my name and phone number and everything on them. And you just take that little circle and stick it right on the front of your tester. You've got a magnet on the back, and you have a great magnet that smells fantastic for your customers and your friends to hang on their refrigerator. And they have your information and they have something that smells great. So I hope you found these tips helpful, and I hope you have the best day ever. Take care.